Hi, I'm Tony Lee Adamson with Daily Disciples Devotionals. Thank you so much for joining me. I want to start in Psalm 142. Verse 1 says, I cry out to the Lord with my voice. With my voice to the Lord I make supplication. I pour out my complaint before him. I declare before him my trouble. When my spirit was overwhelmed within me, then you knew my path in the way in which I walk. And it's interesting that God suddenly knows the paths that we take when we finally include him in them. If you notice, verse 3 says, when my spirit was overwhelmed within me, then you knew my path. Did God not know his path before his ways were overwhelmed within him? Of course God knew his path. However, it wasn't until this psalmist's heart was overwhelmed that he included God in his trouble. That's why in the beginning it says, I cry out with my voice. I make supplication. I pour out my complaint. I declare before him my trouble. When we finally get to the point that we are overwhelmed with sorrow, with trouble, with terrible circumstances, with bad habits and patterns that we can't break, it's at that point that we finally include God in that place. When we include God anywhere that we are, God then makes himself known to us. We don't need to have all the trouble and the distress to be aware of God's presence, but many times it's through those troubles and distress that we finally include him. And what God is saying through the psalmist is, whenever you welcome me in to your heart, whenever you open your mind and include me, I will make myself known to you. And that is not only clear in this psalm, but also Psalm 139 today. Sit down and spend some time alone reading Psalm 139 and see just how involved God wants to be in your life, not only in your troubles, but in your day-to-day life. Thank you for joining me with Daily Disciples Devotionals.